Greetings friends. In this video lecture, we'll be learning about the provision related to appeals and revision under the GST law. This provision is given in section 107 to section 121 of GST Act, Cgst Act 2017, and the corresponding rules are given in chapter 13 from rule 108 to 116. This is an important part of GST law wherein the taxpayer has opportunity to challenge any adverse order passed against it. The concept of discussion in this video lecture has been valuable for anyone who wants to understand the appeals and the provision related to revision given in GST law. However, the video has been prepared based on the study material provided by the Institute of Company Secretaries and for their paper 2 of professional program advanced tax laws. The previous attempts question has been asked from this section of GST law. In December 2017, the question was to explain the procedure of furnishing detail of outward supplies and of revision of rectification of errors and omission as per the Cgst Act 2017 for 5 marks. Then December 2019, question for 1 marks was asked. A person aggrieved by the order passed by the adjudicating authority must file appeal to the appellate authority within 30 days from the date of the impugned order. It was a true and false question. Then in June 2018, the question was Hema Lubricant Limited filed an appeal before the appellate tribunal against the order of the appellate authority, wherein the issue was revolving around the place of supply. The tribunal decided the issue against the company and in favor of the department. The company is of the firm opinion that its view is correct and hence there is need to take the issue to an appellate forum higher than the appellate tribunal. As a company secretary dealing with the indirect tax matters, advised the company about filing of appeal before the appropriate forum. This question was asked for 5 marks. So, the provision related to appeals and revision. The appeals and revision is basically for meeting compliances at par with the statutory provisions including tax laws, is one of the most important obligation for a taxpayer and assessee. The obligation or non-compliance may arise due to tax related issue or there could be issues related to procedure. In case where either the proper officer passes an order which is prejudicial to the interest of taxpayer, the taxpayer deserves the right to make an appeal against such order passed. However, the grounds of appeal are logical and legitimate and stands merit of the law so that the appeal could be filed. The right of appeal being a statutory right, the taxpayer or the proper officer shall have to file appeal in the respective form as prescribed under the law. The procedure is very clear. What are the appealable order and what are the non-appealable order. So whatever or non-appealable order cannot be appealed against and rest of the order can be challenged before the higher forum. The non-appealable orders or the issues are an order of the commissioner or other authority empowered to direct transfer of proceeding from one officer to another officer, an order pertaining to the seizure or retention of books of account, register and other documents, or an order sanctioning prosecution under the act, or it could be an order passed under section 80, that is payment of tax in installment. So apart from these four non-appealable order, all order can be challenged before the higher forum. The specific time limit is to be kept in view while we are preferring the appeal, or we want to decide whether the appeal is to be filed or not. That has to be done within this period. So if order is against if we are trying to file an appeal against order issued by adjudicating officer or the proffer officer, then the appeal will go to appellate authority. That is to be filed within a period of 3 months from the date of the order passed by the adjudicating officer or proper officer. Power of granting condonation or extension of 1 month is given for just and equitable causes, and reason is to required to be recorded. Similarly, against the order of passed in appeal by the appellate authority or order in revision passed by the revisional authority, the appeal to the tribunal could be made. Tribunal have branches as state or area branches or national regional branches. This is again to be done within a period of 3 months from the date of order, which is under appeal, and 3 months or 45 days could be condoned. 45 days in case of cross objection, and there is a requirement of pre-deposit while filing the appeal. The pre-deposit for filing appeal before the appellate authority, as given in subsection 6 of 107, is to deposit the admitted amount plus 10% of remaining tax subjected to maximum of 25 crore. That means if you want to prefer an appeal against the order of adjudicating or proper officer to the appellate authority, then a sum equal to 10% of remaining amount of tax in dispute arising from the said order subject to maximum of rupees 25 crore is to be deposited. This shall be in addition to the basic amount, that is full amount of tax, interest, fine and penalty as admitted by the tax payer. Then if you are preferring an appeal before the tribunal from the order of appellate authority or the revisional authority, then under section 1128 you are required to make full amount of deposit full amount of tax, interest, fine and penalty as admitted, plus sum equal to 20% of the remaining amount of tax in dispute in addition to the amount paid under subsection 6 of section 107. This shall be subject to the maximum of rupees 50 crore. Then if we want to file appeal against the order of tribunal, then it will go to High Court. Period is 180 days from the date of order passed by the tribunal, and High Court has sufficient power to condone delay for the reason or causes justifiable. Appeal against order of HC can be preferred before the Supreme Court. However, for preferring appeal before the Supreme Court, is possible if the High Court certifies that matter is fit to be appealed before the apex court. In case of pre-deposit, it is to be refunded because of the order passed in favor of the appellant by appellate authority or tribunal. Interest at the rate as given in section 56 is to be paid to the taxpayer from date of deposit. So the illustration, what will be the basic amount and what will be the deposit. Basic amount is equal to the tax liability disclosed by the taxpayer minus tax actually paid. This plus deposit which will be is equal to 10% of the tax assessed by the adjudicating authority minus tax disclosed plus interest plus late fee plus penalty as usual. Suppose the tax liability is disclosed by a taxpayer is say 500 crore and he has paid a tax of 400 crore. Then if the adjudicating authority decides the liability is 900 crore, then the total amount of deposit required by the taxpayer for being eligible to file appeal before the appellate authority will be will be tax due, that is 500 crore minus 400 crore. So 100 crore is to be deposited as admitted amount, then 10% of the remaining amount, which will be the 10% of the 900 crore minus 500 crore, that is 40 crore. So this 10% will be subject to the maximum of 25 crore. So in this case 25 crore is to be deposited along with interest, late fee and penalty, which is normally applicable. Now revision by commissioner. As told that non-appealable order cannot be revised. The GST Act also provides this mechanism of revision by the revisional authority who will be the commissioner. This revisional authority will pass the order, will have the revision power against the order passed by the subordinate officer. However, if this is to be exercised by revisional authority by examining the case records, and if he finds and is of the view that the decision or order passed by any officer subordinate to him is erroneous in so far as it is prejudicial to the interest of revenue and is illegal or improper or has to be taken into account material fact, he may if necessary stay the operation of such decision or order for a period as he deems fit, and after giving the person concerned an opportunity of being heard. He can make further inquiry, pass order as he thinks just and proper, and he can enhance or modify or annul the decision of the subordinate officer. The above power is subject to condition that non-appealable order and decision cannot be revised. Further, these power of revision cannot be exercised if the order has been subject to the appeal before the appellate authority or the tribunal, high court, supreme court. Then it cannot exercise the power if the period of 6 months from the date of communication of order has not yet expired or more than 3 years have expired after the passing of the decision of or the order sought to be revised. Then the order has already been taken for revision at earlier stage, then also that order cannot be revised. Then if the order sought to be revised is a revisional order in the first place, then again it cannot be revised. The provision related to National Appellate Authority is given in section 101A. This authority is constituted on the recommendation of council by notification of the government and with effect from the date as may be specified therein. The National Appellate Authority consists of President, who will be Judge of SC or Chief Justice of High Court or Judge of HC for a period not less than 5 years. Then there can be technical member, center, who will be either working or acts Indian Revenue, Customs, Central Excise Service Group A officer who had completed 15 years in Group A service. So the current or the former judge of High Court, Supreme Court with requisite time period if relates to High Court could be appointed as for President, then technical member center and technical member state are to be appointed from the officer of the state government not below the rank of additional commissioner of value added tax or the additional commissioner of state tax with at least 3 years of experience in the administration of existing law or the State and Goods Services Tax Act. So the president is to be appointed by the government after consultation of with the Chief Justice of India or his nominee. In case of vacancy, the senior most member will be acting as president. So I am not dealing with the other component of National Appellate Authority. With this, I come to the end of this video lecture and hope this will be useful and you would be able to understand the provision related to appeal and revision as given in GST law. Thank you, friend. Thank you very much.